Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Recently, some of the CIG devs working on Star Citizen's NPCs and AI answered a load of community questions, from the state of animals and creatures to AI blades to NPC communications and surrendering. Some of it's pretty juicy, so let's jump into the summary. This is all sourced from the Ask the Devs AI for You and I episode, and I'll link that original video down below. What are the minimum server frames per second required for AI to function as intended? AI is tied to server performance currently. A lot of systems are doing calculations and they sort of try and balance the resources available at the moment. It's not the best at the moment. Some issues are not tied to server performance though. Some of it's code related, some of it's bugs. When the server goes under 5 frames per second, the AI just sort of breaks. As do a lot of other systems, sort of under 8, it kind of struggles, the AI. They're going to be improving this in the new year. AI will be less tied to server performance. They want servers to be as fast as possible. They're looking for 30 frames per second consistent as a goal. AI behaviors can also break at the moment due to code issues. They are getting into odd loops. Sometimes they're seemingly unresponsive. Sometimes they suddenly snipe you. There are a ton of AI updates that have just come over from Squadron 42 features coming into the persistent universe, and they're going to be adding and evolving this more in the year to come. But AI behaviors, code, and the sort of networks and servers and all that sort of stuff is all evolving and getting better and better. What, if any, progress has been done on AI blades? AI blades are components you plug into your ship that allow for various functions based on what has been chosen. So you can have them automating turrets, better targeting systems, automatically fire out countermeasures based on missiles that have been fired at you. These are sort of an alternative to crew or to assist crew. You want to run a big ship solo, you want AI blades or NPC crew basically. The technology for AI blades is sort of in-game already to an extent, at least the ability to have them in, or at least having them control turrets and some ship functions. So they're working out how to expose these functionalities to players, what blades exactly are available, how to buy them. There's going to be variants and stats associated with them as well. You'll be able to get better blades at doing specific tasks or different qualities of them. Maybe you want a blade that's good at tracking fast targets in a turret, sort of like for anti-fighter fire. Potentially you could have them slaving turrets for you, or defensive ones that only attack your current target. There is a ton of potential here as well for what types of blades you could have, not just controlling turrets, but, you know, giving extended salvage information, being better at tracking bounties. Cloud Imperium are still working on it. Obviously they use it now to an extent for their larger and capital ships. The sort of tech there for moving their turrets is basically what AI blades will kind of be, but it doesn't look like they're planning to have this as a feature for players for 2024. It doesn't look like it anyway. What's the state of AI creatures at the moment? They've started on various AI creatures, several are in development. Some of them are part of Squadron 42 work that they can't talk about too much. They're likely going to appear in Star Citizen though, in the persistent universe in due course. Potentially, this is going to be stuff like the Vandal dogs that they've previously mentioned in the monthly reports, among others, like the Space Cow, the Quasi-Grazer, like the Boreal Stalker that's going to be on Microtech Yeti, the Pyro Crabs, the Star Whales, which are going to be around Crusader. So the Space Cow, the Quasi-Grazers, that were most recently shown off at the CitizenCon engine demo, is probably the first animal, or one of the first animals we're going to have in game. They are trying to solve some issues with it. They have them moving around in the dev branch. We also know, as an aside, that they're working on things like boids, which are smaller creatures, probably more for flavor, like birds, like bats, fish, insects. And you've got sort of more organic collectibles and harvestables like the stone bug in game now, and although technically it's a creature, it's not really a creature. There's the sort of grubs as well slithering about in the Pyro playground that we've seen, that you can eat and stuff. So there are sort of these creatures starting to come into game even now. The replication layer. How does this tech affect AI? So basically, replication layer splits the game servers from the client and the other services, and sort of has the replication layer in the middle communicating efficiently between them. It allows for multiple servers to all be connected to the same shard and share the same shard effectively. The splitting of the servers and replication layer and client should make everything more efficient for AI, seamlessly changing authority of what server has control of the AI as they move between them. That's a big sort of part, big sort of puzzle they want to solve so that it works consistently. Will AI communicate and warn each other with radios, and generally in combat they shout at each other? Will AI be able to understand that? They're working on getting wild lines, playing where appropriate, that will be contextual to what is going on in combat and if AI have spotted you and what they're doing and all that sort of stuff, so it will give the impression of them communicating. There is some sort of alarm system for Squadron 42, so if you're detected by a guard or they find a body, then basically combat will go loud, the guards will call out, and they're sort of all made aware of your presence because they'll have radios or whatever. They want to make this system systemic and tied to AI behaviors for the persistent universe, but haven't got too far into this yet. There's obviously the audio propagation system as well that they're sort of built into this, so guards will respond to different sounds appropriately, where to shout out if they get shot or downed or scared or whatever, and if an AI hears that, then they respond to that appropriately. Will NPCs be able to surrender in combat? So they've already worked on it for Squadron 42. It does require more polish. Civilians will run away and hide. Combatants will look for ammo and weapons or run away or surrender if they're out of ammo, can't find a weapon, or get sort of trapped somewhere. This can then allow players to initiate a particular type of takedown on them or restrain them. Obviously, we know there's going to be bounty hunting and stuff, so restraining and surrendering is a big part of that. Players will be able to surrender. NPCs might potentially unrestrain friends if they see them as well. So you've restrained someone or whatever, they might get unrestrained and go out and get weapons again to try and get back in the fight. They might try and revive someone that's downed. So sort of bear in mind that that is a thing. Maybe you also want to hide the bodies that we saw at CitizenCon as well. Planetary nav mesh. Why don't we have properly patrolling NPCs at all locations? So the nav mesh, or pathfinding for NPCs, is generated for appropriate locations. It sort of kind of works for the whole planet, but they don't want to generate a whole nav mesh for a planet because it might be inefficient. But yeah, it should work at all locations even now, technically. It's sort of the text there. It's more of an issue with current AI behaviors, why they don't have NPCs patrolling everywhere. They are building them out, and we will see AI be able to patrol in all appropriate areas in the future. That sort of will be part of their behaviors for appropriate areas. NPCs will also be able to use airlocks, use ladders, etc. as well, and loads of other various props and stuff in the background. They'll be repairing things, they'll be moving around, getting on with their jobs. Why does the hologram at New Babbage react to gunfire? She probably shouldn't, but this led on to the devs talking about them working on what NPCs consider threats. Are lowered weapons considered threats? Well, it's going to be based on jurisdiction. If you're allowed to have weapons in areas, they probably won't be annoyed or scared of lowered weapons. But if you're not supposed to have a weapon in an area, they might be scared. The multi-tool, are they going to be seeing that as a threat? Well, maybe if it's got a cutting attachment on it or something that can actually cause damage. Point a weapon at someone, they're going to be panicking or angry or whatever. NPCs, breaking immersion is something they want to avoid, so they don't want them to do unexpected things that look weird. They are bringing a load of game systems together to sell the experience. It's very important for them to have this immersion in and for NPCs to react believably. Will we ever see NPCs riding trams again? Yes, they have the functionality in Squadron 42. They just need to bring this sort of back into the persistent universe and get them understanding the transit system. This will be a thing. They can also be used as spawn lockers and to despawn NPCs and that sort of stuff as well. It's very useful to have trams working. Can NPCs use scanners in FPS or radar to detect ships? Do they have the same tool sets as players? So AI use the radar on ships to detect players. This will be similar to FPS as well. They're able to use gadgets and tech to or their senses to detect players or other NPCs. NPCs may be aware that they've been pinged as well when you scan them, or you might be aware when they ping you, that sort of stuff. But the idea is that NPCs will have the same or very similar tool set to players, and they should be able to do all or most of the same things. Backers stood on chairs and T-posed at CitizenCon. How does that make you feel? Was one of the questions. So basically this is just, in Star Citizen, one of the most consistent and persistent bugs is NPCs standing on chairs, NPCs T-posing on chairs. They said it was a joke that they need to take. The devs see it as funny, as they should. Also, NPCs standing on chairs or T-posing wasn't just one bug or the same reoccurring bug. It wasn't the same root cause. Most recently, it was streaming in or out and then back in and not saving the states properly. They could fix some of this stuff with or hide it. They could bodge fix it or hide it, but they want to more appropriate fix the bugs and understand them rather than just sort of go, you know what, we could just turn off the ability for NPCs to stand on the chairs or to T-pose in general. So that hides the problem, but they don't want to do that because there might be an underlying issue to why are the NPCs doing that? They shouldn't be doing that. oh, it's because of this, and they can actually fix the code more readily. Boom! That's it for your Star Citizen NPC AI creature update today. I am really looking forward to all of the updates that they are bringing into 2024. Looks to be a really big year for Star Citizen. Creatures turning up. We should see the Star Wow and those space cows, the Quasi-Grazers, in 2024. At least that appears to be the plan. Hopefully we have sort of server meshing and AI in a much, much better state as well, getting updates throughout the year. But I'm really interested to know what you think. Did you like the sort of information that was given out in this Q&A? Are you excited for animals? Are you excited for all those updates coming in? Will they be able to get AI into a great state during the year, or is it going to be something that it's going to take a lot longer before AI is working as intended in the game? Whatever your thoughts or questions, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Ho ho ho, it's me, Father Nordmus. That's right, it's that time again to see who's on my naughty list for who doesn't have a VPN.
No, that's Northern Claus!
Grass from Northern Claus, Timmy. You should be scared of not having a VPN. As you know, Father Nordmus punishes all that disobey him. It's the perfect Nordmus present, Timmy. There's no excuse. I can see all of your website history, and I'm going to sell all of your data, Tim.
NordVPN helps protect your online activity, gives you greater accessibility to the content you want by changing your location, and much, much more. Go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer before Das Northern Claus finds you. Every month we have a Star Citizen ship giveaway. For December, we are giving away a Drake Corsair. It's the winner of the 2953 Ship Showdown and one of the stars of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. This fantastic multi-role, multi-crew, long-range mission runner can do a bit of everything in-game, and it has a penchant for exploration. Just comment on any of my videos during December to be in for a chance of winning that. There are further details in the description below. A big thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile in supporting the channel via Patreon or the join button under my videos and becoming a channel member. It will net you some exclusive content from Zin and I, but also it really does help us to be able to create daily Star Citizen content, as does sharing these videos and commenting. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.